Hello there. Welcome back. This is Casey Pacheco. I am your holistic nurse, and I am disrupting and shaking things up on the internet, especially in our LinkedIn space. I have a beautiful surprise here for you today, and I am just going to let him in. Welcome, welcome, Dr. Stan, Dr. Breakthrough. Dr. Breakthrough is the name. Welcome to the platform. How are you today?
I am excellent on purpose and by design. As a matter of fact, can I tell you the truth of how I'm doing today?
Tell me.
Well, I'm too blessed to be depressed. And if I ever get depressed, I'm too blessed to stay depressed. I'm too glad to be sad. I'm too anointed to be disappointed. I'm too elated to be agitated. I'm too legit to quit. I'm too grounded to be confounded, too great to be hateful, too gifted to be restricted, too good to be withstood, and too saved not to be getting paid. And I get to be here with you, Casey. What a joy. What a privilege. We're going to have a great time on purpose and by design.
We are. Thank you. You bring the energy all the time. So let's let the people know who you are. Your name is Dr. Stan Harris, but everybody knows you as Dr. Breakthrough. Why?
Well, one is I needed more breakthroughs than anybody else.
Why'd you say that?
Well, because my main message, we'll talk about later, but my main message was every master was once a mess or at best mediocre. Therefore, every mess or mediocre person can one day be a master. So every master was once a mess. I was a mess of messes. So every master was once a mess. Therefore, every mess or mediocre person can one day be a master. Now, whenever a mess or mediocre person becomes a master, they now have a message that if they market properly to the masses, they can make millions.
Ooh, come on now.
Help them to make it. So yeah, I was a mess, but yeah, so my whole life was, I tried to commit suicide on 2 occasions before I was ever even 12 years of age because of the physical abuse and the verbal abuse and the sexual abuse. And as a 6-year-old boy being beaten up by a gang of teenagers and tarred and feathered and thrown out in the middle of the field, literally to die, right? Jumped on and bullied and beat up every day, and obviously racially abused, right? And then even financially abused. Hello. But so yeah, I needed, like I said, in my mind, I was like, people call you dumb, no good, and you never gonna amount to be anything so long to where after a while, you start saying that to yourself. They don't even have to, right? So that was my mindset. That's what was in my mind and my spirit, and I was messed up. And so I'm glad I started getting some breakthroughs. I had to break through those old limiting beliefs, break through those limiting beliefs that, again, in the middle of the word beliefs is a 3-letter word called a lie. So whenever there's lies we believe in, we live a very limiting lifestyle. Now, that's what we call right there a Dr. Breakthroughism, AKA writer downer, okay? So limiting beliefs, if you write it down, the word beliefs, right in the middle of the word beliefs is a 3-letter word called a lie. And whenever there's lies we believe in, we live a very limiting lifestyle. When there's lies we believe in, if we build a business, we build a very limiting business. There's lies we believe in, we build limiting relationships and all that. And so my goal in life now is to teach people how to break through. And the reason I know I can help them to break through is because I helped me to break through.
Hey, that's the best experience.
So here's how I got the name. 25 years ago, I was speaking at Howard University with Willie Jollie, Dr. Willie Jollie. He just recently was voted one of the top speakers in the whole entire world with the National Speakers got their top award. And he and I, by the way, were voted to a Motivational Speakers Hall of Fame together. But we were speaking at Howard University, and he said to me, he said, Dr. Stan, he said, man, I know you got a PhD in martial arts and a doctor of divinity and a few credits away from a doctor of naturopath. He said, but branding's everything. He said, man, you speak on breakthrough better than anybody I know. You explain it better. He said, and then when you do your presentations, like I'll write boards and I have bricks on them, things like fear and procrastination and doubt. And then I break those things, showing that we can, although things are hard, with enough focus and a good mentor, we can break through them, right? Especially when you get a breakthrough mentor. By the way, here's a Dr. Breakthroughism, AKA writer down, or your breakthrough comes faster. I said, your breakthrough comes faster when one of your mentors is a minister and black belt grandmaster. And so your breakthrough, if you want to have a faster breakthrough, listen carefully, your breakthrough comes faster when one of your mentors is a minister and karate grand master, and I happen to be a 10th degree black belt, my friend. So anyway, so Willie
Hey,
said to me, he said, you know what? Like a person goes to a doctor and a doctor writes a prescription,
yes,
nurse. Okay.
yes.
Right?
I know.
So he said, you're the guy when they need a breakthrough. You're the guy with the prescription. And I was like, man, I really appreciate those kind words. I said, but I'm not sure that's all the way true. But I promise you one thing.
Mm-hmm.
I will live the rest of my life to make sure it is.
Wow. Well, wait. Let's back up because you just said so much in there. Wait. So we want to talk about mindset, right? Because
Yes,
you say you are a karate, and Bruce Lee, he talked a lot. He talks about being like water,
watch
right?
it.
And
Wait a minute.
I just break it down for the audience. Oh,
Mhm.
look, there you go. Tell us, what is that? How do you get, because you do mental self-defense. So
Yes.
tell us, how do you do that?
Yeah. So mental self-defense is a concept I came up with in my book. My book is one of my books anyway. It's called Your Breakthrough is Guaranteed: 7 Simple Steps to Your Success, forward by Fran Harris and also Les Brown, right? And but in that book, I talk about what I call mental self-defense and also what we call Now, most people MMA, they think that means mixed martial arts, but to
Mhm.
me, it means mental martial arts. And so, mental self-defense or mental martial arts is this: learning how to here we go. Dr. Breakthroughism is a writer, aka writer downer. I couldn't help it. You bringing it out of me. And so, mental self-defense is this: mental martial arts is learning how to defend yourself against your greatest opponent, which is your undisciplined or subconscious mind. So that's why the greatest book ever written says, Romans 12:2, be transformed. How? By the renewing of your mind. Why would my mind need to be renewed unless it was being dirty? Come on now. And so people talking about brainwashing. No, my brain was dirty. It needed some washing. Come on now. And so I kept growing up talking about what I can't do, and I'll never be this, and I can't this, and I can't that, and I won't this. No. Mental martial arts. So literally, I'm going to show you how to leverage what was your greatest opponent into your greatest ally. Oh, see, scripture says, as a man, that word man is mankind, right? So man, woman, as a person thinks in their mind, heart, mind, rather, so is he. And I was talking to somebody this morning, who was talking about one of the great breakthroughs came from a book. Mr. Allen wrote a book years ago called As a Man Thinketh. He got that from one scripture in the Bible, one little scripture, as a man thinketh. And so again, mental self-defense. Listen, there's so many of you. Ooh, I feel a Dr. Breakthroughism coming on again, an AKA writer downer, and that is this. Listen, a breakthrough occurs when you learn to beat the bullies on your brain. Ooh, let me say it again. The breakthrough occurs when you beat the bullies on your brain. See, when I talk about my story of being beaten and tarred and feathered by a teenage gang, everybody's being ganged. You're being ganged. Your mind, low esteem is ganging up on you, and doubt, self-doubt, ganging up on you, my friend. And I just don't think I can't. Ganging up on you, procrastination. These things are holding you back from your success. And I'm telling you, my friend, as Dr. Breakthrough, I tell people I can't provide the breakthrough. I just prescribe the breakthrough. But when you practice the prescription, God provides it. And the breakthrough is exploding through barriers like those chains. It's exploding through barriers that at one time seemed insurmountable. And the chains are oftentimes in our brain, in our mind, my friend. And what we don't understand is sometimes we set it up our own selves. And so it's time to break through.
That's true. Dr. Breakthrough, let me just give you a little flavor of my audience.
Okay.
So the people that this channel is intended for are for people who they have made something of their life, but then they realize they're still broke. So they have an income, they have money, they have a life. But it's just enough to keep them in the rat race. And this is why I think that um
By the way, if you come in first place, you're still a rat. First place rat.
it's true. It's true. But I brought you on because I think that people are ready for breakthrough,
Come on now.
and it's all in the mind. And we'll talk about the financial aspect first. But I want to ask you, how did you go from having this story of like victim, this is what happened to me, to now standing on your story to motivate other people and say, take control. How did that happen?
Well, it starts with mentorship. See,
Mm.
mentorship. Dr. Breakthroughism, aka writer downer. Mentorship is the thing that allows you to have a mental shift. Oh,
Wait, say that one more time.
Get the recording. Get the record. Okay, no. Mentorship. I told you it was a Dr. Breakthroughism, aka writer downer, but mentorship is the thing that oftentimes will allow you to have a mental shift. So when I got a mentor, they helped me to shift from my mind from what I wasn't to what I had that I can leverage to use to make what I wanted. Oh, let me say it again. See, it's not what you don't have that keeps a person from being happy or unsuccessful. It's not what you don't have that keeps you from being happy or unsuccessful. It's only what you think you need. And the danger I find, Casey, is many times we think we need what we really don't have to have, but because we think we need it, now our mind is set in there now. And now we're not happy because we don't have what we think we need. And the funny thing about it, there's other people that don't have the very thing we think we need. They're happy because let me give you an example. Bill Gates many years ago, and he's not one of my favorite people, but he quit college to become one of the richest men in the world. And I find people today in their 80s, it's going back to school. I applaud them but they're going back to get these degrees. So they think that it's going to make them happy and successful by getting the degree. That degree won't make it. You're trying to get something that people quit to go and become the richest people in the world, right? Steve Jobs, the same thing, right?
Yeah.
I heard the other day, the guy with Tesla, what's his name? But you know what I'm talking about. The guy
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk, right.
Uh-huh.
Same thing with him. He was going to get some more. He said, and he quit. And now he is the richest man in the world. Now Gates was that for a while, Jobs was that, but now Musk is the guy, right? And why? It's like one of my sons. He said, "Dad, I just really don't think I'm going to go to college." I said, well, "No problem. Let me ask you a question. Why do you think most people go to college?" He said, "Well, so they can get a better job." "What do you want a better job for?" "Well, so you can make more money." "What if I can show you how to make the money without going to college to get the degrees, to have to get the job?" And he says, "Ooh, yes." So one of the things I do is I show people that. So yeah, but it starts with mentors, and then the mentorship helps you to have a mental shift. That's one of the things I do with people. I help shift them on that. There's things you have, like 2 Kings chapter 4, verses 1-7. There was a widow woman lost her husband, and she was about to lose her children to the debtors. Back then, you couldn't declare bankruptcy 7 or 8 times like Donald Trump did. No. You had to pay your debts, right? So watch this. And if you couldn't, they would take somebody in the family into what's called debtor's prison. And they would have to work it off. So she lost her husband. He died prematurely and didn't leave her anything, didn't have anything. And then here she has her 2 children now about to be taken away. So she goes to the man of God, Elisha, and she says, and she's trying to get him to feel sorry because she's like, thy servant, which is, by the way, my husband, servant. Listen, he knew that if he gave her something then, it would help her, but she needed something in the long term. She didn't just need to fish, she needed to learn how to fish. So he said, so he's going to mentor her. Now watch this. So the mentorship is going to help her to have a mental shift. And he says, because mentors start asking you questions, like for instance, he said, "What do you have?" Let's stop right there. She's going to him, telling him something so he can maybe give her something. And he says, no, we're going to help extract from you that you don't even know you have. Let me ask you a question. What do you see? We're always trying to look for something outside of ourselves. Like, listen, God made Adam and God says Adam needs some help. Well, listen, guess what? Where's the help that Adam needed? It was already in him. And so God had to reach down inside of the man and pull out of the man what was in the man that the man didn't even know was there. And that's pain. God had to put him to sleep, the first anesthesiologist, right? So within your pain, I teach is, but you don't get this unless you have a mentor. See, you're thinking, oh, woe is me, I'm hurting. Nobody understands. Will this ever change? The mentor says, no. Listen, like when I mentor people, I was like, I'm going to show you how I learned within my pain was hidden power, and I can leverage and harness that power to create profits that'll profit myself